What Dharma did Shakyamuni Buddha speak for his mother? Earth-star Bodhisattva's Fundamental Vows Sutra. This is a Dharma on filiality. Everyone should be filial to their parents. Why? It is because our parents are our roots. By being filial to your parents, you douse your roots with fertilizer. If you are not filial to your parents, you will definitely have no future. Being filial to your parents means tending to your roots well and ensuring a bright future. As the saying goes, stable roots lead to lush branches, deep roots lead to luxuriant leaves. For his mother, Shakyamuni explained this type of Dharma which follows. Sutra. At that time, uncountably many Buddhas and great Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas from infinite worlds in the 10 directions assembled. Commentary. At that time, uncountably many Buddhas and great Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas from infinite worlds in the 10 directions assembled. Worlds throughout the 10 directions are the dependent retribution, while all the ineffable Buddhas and great Bodhisattvas are retribution proper. People are retribution proper, while worlds are dependent retribution. These are the two types of retributions. There are 5 ways to explain at that time. First, this refers to the times when the Dharma is about to be spoken, the time that the Dharma is being spoken, and the time when the Dharma was already being spoken. Here, it would be when the Buddha wanted to speak the Dharma, then when the Buddha was explaining this Dharma on filiality, and then when the Buddha finished explaining this Dharma on being filial to one's parents. This is the first explanation. The second explanation for it refutes the non-Buddhists. Non-Buddhists speak Dharmas that do not specify past, present, or future. They are vague. This explanation contradicts the non-Buddhist by explaining a Dharma of the past, present, and future. This is the second meaning to at that time. The third meaning for at that time is a time for planting. Once the seeds are planted, there will be a time for ripening and harvesting. What happens after ripening? There is a time for liberation, which also occurs at that time. For example, someone who has never planted good roots, such as the elder who wanted to live the home life. The great Arhat took a look at him though and saw that he did not do any good deeds in the last 80,000 great aeons. They refused to let him live the home life. Do not consider leaving home easy. It is all because of Bodhi planted in lives past. It is all because of Bodhi planted in lives past. People who are monastics now got to be monastics because they planted good roots of goodness in the last 80,000 great aeons. Do not think one can casually become a monk or a nun, telling those who have never planted roots of goodness to plant some, those who have never recited the Buddha's name to recite, and those who have never recited mantras to recite is about planting roots of goodness. Once the seeds are in the soil, they will grow and mature. It is like farming, for instance, where seeds planted in the spring are harvested in the fall. If they ripen but are not harvested, it would not do any good. Liberation means when the seeds are collected. This also means telling those who have not planted good roots to do so, those who have already planted good roots to become monks. They are ripe when they are monks. Monks must become Buddhas, which requires certifying to the fruit and becoming liberated. So, listening to sutra lectures is not about listening to the sutra a couple of times and refusing to listen to anymore. The more you listen, the more you have this type of knowledge. If you do not listen, You will not increase your knowledge of Buddhist studies. The fourth is an explanation that there is a real teacher speaking the Dharma. Once a real teacher is in place, then the orthodox teaching is spoken. After that, there is a proper learning. If you do not study properly, even proper teachings are not helpful to you. You may want to study properly and the orthodox teachings are there, but you do not have a teacher who truly understands, then you cannot learn. So the fourth explanation at that time refers to the presence of a real teacher, the orthodox teachings, and proper learning. The fifth explanation of at that time is a time when the Buddha was willing to speak the Dharma and living beings were willing to listen to the Dharma. Listening to the Dharma and speaking the Dharma occur simultaneously. Neither one is higher or nor lower as long as the audience and the teachings click. Some beings come and listen to the Buddha speak this Dharma. The Buddha wanted to speak and living beings wanted to listen. They are equal. Above are 5 different explanations of at that time. For this sutra, the first is the fulfilled condition of faith. The I have heard is the fulfilled condition of hearing. The at one time is the fulfilled condition of time. The Buddha is the fulfilled condition of the host. The Trayastrimsha Heaven is the fulfilled condition of a place, and the speaking Dharma for his mother is the fulfilled condition of the assembly. Although the Buddha was speaking the Dharma for his mother, beings in the heavens and human beings also followed him. Among those who always accompanied the Buddha, there were already 1,250 disciples of the Buddha alone. The Lord of the Trayastrimsha Heaven, Indra, was the Dharma protector, the meal host, and the one who requested the Dharma. Although the Buddha was speaking Dharma for his mother, he was really speaking Dharma for the great assembly. Therefore, this line also fulfills the condition of the assembly. The above are the 6 conditions. At that time, many Buddhas and all the great Bodhisattvas with lofty resolves throughout the ineffable worlds in space and the Dharma realm of the 10 directions gathered. See, all the Buddhas and the great Bodhisattvas gathered when the Earth Star Sutra was lectured. So people should gather too. All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout the 10 directions also gathered as we now lecture on the Earth Star Sutra. Open your Buddha eyes and look on the infinite and uncountable number of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas throughout the 10 directions now gather to support this Dharma assembly. Sutra to praise how Shakyamuni Buddha is able to manifest powerfully great wisdom and spiritual penetrations in the evil world of the 5 turbidities. Commentary. All the Buddhas, all the Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas throughout the 10 directions went to the Trayastrimsha Palace to praise how Shakyamuni Buddha. Shakyamuni is a Sanskrit. Shakya is a surname, while Muni is the first name. The name Shakyamuni is his individual name. Buddha is a name common to all Buddhas. Each Buddha has his unique name. In this case, Shakyamuni, Shakya means capable of being human, while Muni means still and quiescent. What does it mean by capable of being human? It means that he can save all beings universally with human needs and virtue. Still and quiescent means unmoving, silent, and set free. Confucianism speaks of there is nothing more in quietude, no sounds, no orders. This is an indication of having reached the original substance. Still and unmoving is samadhi, where capable of being human is wisdom. How come the Buddha can rescue living beings universally with human needs and kindness? It is because he has wisdom, capable of being human, is to accord with conditions. Still and quiescent is unchanging. The Buddha never changes but always accords with the conditions. Accords with conditions but never changes. In this still and unmoving samadhi, he immediately connects to responses. All beings with all their variety of thoughts, regardless of how many the thus common knows and sees them all. The Buddha sees them all because he is capable of being human. He knows them all because he is still and quiescent. Do not think that no one knows what we do. The Buddha knows everything. So if we are but 10% sincere in our cultivation, we will receive a 10% response. If we are 100% sincere, we will receive a 100% response. If you are millions upon millions times sincere, then even though Shakyamuni Buddha is there on that quiescent and unmoving fundamental enlightenment, he will connect with you immediately, providing you with a helpful response so that you will be successful in your practice soon. This is what it means by Shakyamuni Buddha. The Buddha enlightens himself, enlightens others, and has perfected conduct that enlighten. It has, as it is said, one becomes a Buddha when he has perfected the three types of enlightenments and is replete with the myriad virtues. The three types of enlightenments perfected are beginning enlightenment, fundamental enlightenment, and ultimate enlightenment. Buddha is half of the transliterated Sanskrit word Buddhaya. What kind of an individual was the Buddha? The Buddha is a greatly enlightened one. If every one of us cultivate according to the Buddha Dharma, we will reach this kind of enlightenment, this kind of result. So Shakyamuni Buddha long ago said, all living beings can become Buddhas. Why? It is because they all have the Buddha nature. So as long as you are willing to work harder on your cultivation, you can become a Buddha. In the evil world of the five turbidities, the five turbidities are Kampa turbidity, this is an impure time and age. View turbidity, the views are impure. Afflictions turbidity, impure because of people's afflictions. Living beings turbidity, living beings are impure. Life turbidity, our lives are turbid and impure. The Kampa turbidity means that we live in a very filthy times. The Shuragama Sutra says that dirt placed in a bowl of clear water loses its original function. What was the function of the dirt? It acts as the blockade. Dirt holds up people as they walk on it. Without dirt, we would fall into the sea. Since there is water under dirt, water holds the dirt. Below water is fire. Sometimes volcanoes erupt, a transformative function. Would the fire not be quenched by water? No, there is so much fire that water cannot put it out. If you want to understand this kind of principle, you must study the Buddha Dharma more. The Shuragama Sutra says, earth loses its ability to block and water stops being clean. That is turbidity. So this evil world of five turbidities is like water and earth mixed together. It is unclean. How? The Kampa turbidity, for example, has no time or is not clear as to what time it is. View turbidity. How can our views can be differentiated clearly? They cannot. Can you divide up everyone's views? categorizing some as my views and some as your views. Where do you draw? Where do you draw the boundary between your views and my views? There are no boundaries, or they are unclear, so things seem to blur together. This is the view turbidity. Affliction turbidity means everyone is afflicted. Your afflictions and my afflictions mix together and become unclear. Some say, I know these afflictions are mine and those afflictions are yours. If so, how come you can bring out my afflictions? If those were mine, you should not be able to bring them out. If your afflictions were yours, I should not be able to bring out your afflictions. Thus, we can tell that afflictions have no boundary and are turbid. Living beings are turbidity. Living beings are human beings in this lifetime, but may become dogs in the next life and cats in the life after that. Maybe even rats in the life after that, then as insects that crawl all over the place. How can you draw such concrete distinctions? Living beings cooperate to start a large firm. Our distinctions are unclear. You are either selling others or being sold by others in this large firm. We are all related. Is this not turbid? This is living beings' turbidity. The five turbidities are extremely complicated, but Shakyamuni Buddha is able to manifest powerfully great wisdom and spiritual penetrations. In this evil world that is one of the worst ones, he can manifest inconceivably wondrous wisdom, the subtle, wonderful, and inconceivable power of wonderful great wisdom, wonderful spiritual powers. Inconceivable means that it is unimaginable and unthinkable, subtly and wonderfully incredible. This is the great power of great wisdom, great spiritual powers. Sutra, the Lord did how he regulates and subdues the obstinate beings so that they can learn what causes suffering and what brings bliss. Each one sent his attendants to pay their respects to the world-honored one. At that time, the first common smiled and emitted billions of great light clouds. Commentary, the Lord did how he regulates and subdues the obstinate beings. What is subduing? People, and perhaps particularly the Chinese, enjoy delicious foods. They season our plain vegetables with 5 different kinds of flavors: sweet, sour, bitter, spicy, and salty. Too spicy, and people who do not like spicy food will not eat that dish at all. Too sour, and those who do not like sour food will not eat any of that dish. Too bitter, and most people do not like it. Even when it is too sweet, some people will not like it. So the flavors must be balanced. Each seasoning is just right, neither too much nor too little. People enjoy foods that taste good. The same applies to the Buddha Dharma. Some prefer this practice, others prefer another practice. Some prefer Christianity, while some prefer Catholicism. Some prefer Islam, while some prefer Taoism or Confucianism. Confucianism, Taoism, Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam are 5 major world religions. They are said to be 5, but they are actually 1. How are they 1? According to the Buddha Dharma, everything is the Buddha Dharma. All religions and their practices are included here. Catholicism, Christianity, Islam, Taoism, Confucianism are all included in all dharmas. None of them transcend all dharmas. No religion will say it has no dharma or is beyond the dharma. Actually, there is no dharma outside the dharma. All dharmas are the Buddha Dharma. All cannot be acquired. No, you haven't really come home if you say all dharmas are gone. I will not try to come up with a way to deceive you, telling you that you will get something good to eat. No, there's nothing. To begin with, there was nothing. How do we know? The great master Sixth Patriarch said, the Bodhi was without a tree, the mirror without a stand. Originally, there was not a thing. Where does dust alight? Since there was nothing to begin with, where will you find dust? Since there is nothing, dust cannot dirty it. All these dharmas are the Buddha Dharma. People who understand know that all dharmas are the Buddha Dharma. There are right dharmas and wrong dharmas, ultimate dharmas and non-ultimate dharmas, good dharmas and bad dharmas. Cultivation requires practicing the ultimate dharmas. It's like walking. If you have an airplane, you can definitely go from the Americas to Europe. How long would you have to walk if you were to walk from the Americas to Europe? Besides walking on land, you have to trek across the ocean too. When you get to the ocean, you have to take a boat, which is slow and takes a long time. It would be faster if you were to take a plane. This is analogous to cultivating the non-ultimate dharmas. You must cultivate for a long time before you can reach your home, Buddhahood. Cultivate the ultimate dharmas and you will reach your home soon. What are the non-ultimate dharmas? It is like all non-Buddhist dharmas that are somewhat helpful but slow. Ultimate dharmas are means of cultivation that accord with the Buddha Dharma. Speaking of disciplining obstinate beings, Shakyamuni Buddha will not begin by criticizing anger to angry people. He will say, anger is not so bad. Afflictions are just body. Can you do that? It's no problem that you are angry. Afflictions are just body. Birth and death are just nirvana. Make him feel as if it is not bad to have a temper. Although I have a huge temper, Bodhi is not small. So he tries, and the more he tries, the fewer afflictions he has, and bigger the body. Afflictions decrease by the day, while Bodhi increases by the day. It is the Bodhi to reduce afflictions. Tell obstinate beings this kind of Dharma. How does the Buddha speak to weak and fearful living beings? They have no will of their own, always afraid. They tremble from hearing a cat's meow, leave their body from hearing a dog's bark. They are afraid of any movement. So the Buddha said, don't be afraid. Study the Buddha Dharma and it will help and protect you. Speak credibly to fearful beings like you, and it's like comforting babies. Consequently, they will believe in the Buddha Dharma. After they study the Buddha Dharma, they will become more and more courageous by the day. For example, I had a disciple who took refuge with me in Hong Kong. Before he took refuge, he was afraid of ghosts and dark nights. He was so frightened that he did not dare to step out the door when the night fell. Even though there were other people in the house with him, he was still afraid. He felt as if he was surrounded by ghosts, even though he does not see any. When he took refuge, I did not give him any mantra or dharma, but after he took refuge, he was not afraid of being alone, not afraid of ghosts or the dark. He was not afraid to be home alone at night. He was not afraid to go outside. This is how you help fearful beings. Tell living beings who like to cry to stop and be joyful instead. In short, living beings are extreme, must reach the middle way. This is the principle behind regulating others. Regulate obstinate beings so that they can learn what causes suffering and what brings bliss. Obstinate beings do not care whether there is suffering or joy. What is suffering? What is joy? He does not care. Since he is obstinate, he is not afraid of suffering or happiness. Shakyamuni Buddha make obstinate beings know what is true suffering and what is true happiness. Exactly what is true suffering? Falling into the lower realms is true suffering. For example, it is true suffering to fall into the realm of the hells, hungry ghosts, or animals. What is true happiness? Becoming enlightened, certifying to the fruition of arhatship, and practicing the Bodhisattva path is true happiness. Actually, there are so many kinds of suffering and happiness, but it is fine just for us to have a general idea. Each one sent his attendants. All the great Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, throughout the lands of the 10 directions did not come alone. Each Bodhisattva brought many attendants, perhaps 1, 2, 3, or 4. Some preferred as many as several hundred, several thousand, or several tens of thousands of attendants. Each person sent the attendants with him to pay their respects to the World Honored One. They went up to the Buddha and greeted him. What are their greetings like? They say, "Is the World Honored One healthy, at ease, and happy? Are living beings easy to save? World Honored One, are you free of any sickness? Are you free of any afflictions? Are you very happy? Are living beings easy to deliver to the shore of perfection?" This is how they greet the World Honored One. At that time, the first common Shakyamuni smiled, a slight smile, not a boisterous laugh, and emitted billions of varieties of great, the largest like clouds and colorful clouds.